Hello children, I am Sonali and today we are going to discuss poem number 2.3, that is Somebody's Mother, written by Mary Do Bryan. Before we begin with the poem, let us just have a small information about the poet. Mary Do Bryan was born in 1816 in New York and she died in 1913. She was a poet, author, and lyricist. She has written many poems for and children's book and is best known for her poem Somebody's Mother. So this poem written by her is her best contribution to the literature. Now about this poem is about an old lady who is standing at the side of a standing at the side of a crowded snow covered road waiting to cross the street. She was very old and could not gather courage to cross the busy slippery road. She was helped by a young schoolboy. So children, let us see the analysis. Let us discuss the poem. We'll just see it paragraph wise and I'll tell you the word meanings, and I'll also try to explain you the meaning of the poem. The woman was old and ragged and gay and bent with the chill of winter's day. The streets were white with a recent snow, and the woman's feet with age were slow. Children, here the word ragged means clothes torn or worn out clothes, you can say very old, then torn clothes which she has worn, overused those clothes. As in gray is the color, or rather it shows the age of the lady. Bent means sharply curved. You all know that when people get very aged, they tend to bend from their back. So she was bent, and chill is extremely cold. So in this stanza, the poet starts with a woman who was wearing torn and worn out clothes and was old and aged. It was winter season and the winter cold was so extreme that the old woman was unable to bear it, and so she bent down a little. So here the poet is trying to explain us that it was winter, and therefore as the lady was very much old and she was very weak because of her age, and it was very cold, it was chilling cold in the month of January, and the snow was falling, so it was very very cold, and the lady was unable to bear that cold, and for that and because of that she was bending and trembling. Now the things which contribute to her trembling or to her weakness was the age and the climate, very cold climate both. Now the streets were white with recent snow. Now it as it was snowed, as it had snowed recently, and therefore the streets were covered with snow and were looking white because of the snow. The old woman was walking slowly because of her old age, and as we have seen the children, in the earlier two lines, the old woman was very weak and she was also bent down because of her age and the unbearable cold. So she was walking very slowly. That is mentioned in the fourth line, and the woman's feet with age were slow. So now there's one more reason why she was walking slowly. First of all, it was that it was her, because of her age and she was very weak, so she was walking very slowly. And the other reason was that the roads were covered with snow, and she might be scared of falling down as it was slippery because of the snow. So You all know that if it is snowy or if it is somewhat ice is there on, it becomes very smooth and slippery, so she might be scared that she might slip and fall down. At the crowded crossing she waited long, jostled aside by the careless throng of human beings who passed by her, unheeding the glance of her anxious eye. So here children, crowd crossing means getting across the road, to cross or to go to the other side of the road. Jostled aside is jerked by one side, like when we are walking very fast, or when the area or place is very crowded and we want to cross the road, or when we want to go somewhere we are already late, we just push others, we don't even notice that, we just push them slightly, not a hard push so that they will fall, but a gentle push, like we sometimes hit them by our elbow, or sometimes with our shoulders unintentionally, so we just hit them and then they get aside and then we move ahead. So jostle aside is to push someone aside. Throng is the crowd, unheeding is not noticing, glance is a look, anxious eyes means worried look. So now in this stanza, the poet is saying that the old woman was waiting there at the side of the road as the crowd was crossing the road. The road was very crowded. So in that crowded road, she was not able to cross the road, and so she was waiting at the side of the road. The people were very careless. They were not bothered about this old woman, and in their hurry, when the people were passing by, they just pushed her and to one side of the road. So no one noticed her worried eyes for crossing the road, and everyone was in hurry. But the old woman was worried as she was unable to cross the road because she was old. The road was covered with snow and was slippery, and also because the road was crowded. So there were so many reasons that the old lady was unable to cross the road. She didn't had the courage to cross the road because the road was slippery because of snow, the roads were crowded, it was very crowded, and the third reason was that because of her age and because of cold, she was trembling and she was very weak as well. So these were the reasons which contributed that she was just standing at the side of the road. Nobody noticed her and she was worried because she wanted to cross the road. Moving ahead. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came happy boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow piled white and deep, past the woman so old and grey, hastened the children on their way. Children here, glad means pleased or happy, and flock refers to group of children. Hailing the snow is welcoming the snow. Because of the snowfall, the children were so happy that to welcome the snow, they were shouting merrily in joy. Like when at the beginning of the rainy season, when the rain falls for the first time or second time, we become so happy that it's raining and we shout in joy. Sometimes when the electricity goes off and when it resumes, when it comes back again after, if it is a long time that there's no electricity, and when it comes, when we are small, we shout and enjoy that or welcome that. So that is the way how these children shouted when they saw the snowfall. Then piled is heaped up, or you can say when things are folded and kept one above the other, they are stacked one above the other, it is called as piled. Past is going ahead, and hastened is hurried or to move quickly or move in a hurried way. So here in the first three lines, the poet is saying that when the school ends for the day, the children are very happy, as if they have got some type of freedom. So the children were coming out of the school with happiness and shouting. The way the sheep move in groups behind one another, similarly, the happy children were also coming out of the school in groups, one behind the other. You must also be experiencing this. You can very well recollect your sweet memories that when the school ends for the day, you are so happy, and in addition to it, if it rains, then you are so very happy that you are going to be wet while going home now in the rain. So you're so very happy. So when you come out of the school, when the last bell rings for the end of the last period, you guys are so happy. You are so happy that you just sometimes shout and celebrate it, and um, come out of the school in flocks. Flocks is in groups, with your best friends, with your friends. You come out. So that is referred to or compared to by the poet as the flock of sheep. The way the sheep are in groups, they move one behind the other in groups. Similarly, the children, when they were let out from the school ended for the day, those children also came out in groups, like a group of sheep or a flock of sheep. Hailing the snow piled white and deep, past the woman so old and grey, hastened the children on their way. So now when these children were very happy, when they came out of the school and they saw the snowfall, they started shouting happily, and they all started going ahead of the old woman, who was old, weak, and they hurriedly moved ahead of her, but no one noticed her. Next stanza. None offered a helping hand to her, so weak and timid, afraid to stir, lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet should trample her down in the slippery street. Children here, offered means gave. Then weak means too gentle to defend oneself. Timid means shy and scared. Stir means move or walk. Lest means for the fear that probably may happen, something may happen, or perhaps you can say. Trample means step on something and crush. So children, from so many boys, we have seen in the last stanza that there were so many boys who were just coming out of the school from the in the form of groups, and but in spite of so many children coming out of the school, then we also saw in the earlier stanza that the road was very crowded. So there were lots and lots of people who were just moving besides her. They just passed her somewhere. Some people even pushed her, but no one bothered to look at the lady. No one bothered to look at the old woman, why she is standing at the corner of the road, at the end of the road, or at the side of the road. So no one tried to find out, or no one even noticed that. And since no one noticed her, no one helped her to cross the road. Why she needed help now? She needed help because she was very weak, and she was scared to cross the slippery crowded road, and she thought that if she tried to cross the road, she might be knocked down and crushed by the horse's feet and the wheels of the carriage, as the roads were very slippery. Now Now children, when I told you about the poetess rather, she was born in 1816 and she died in the 1913. Means this was in the 19th century when she has written the poem. So during that time in the early 19th century, uh, probably it was that that the vehicles were not very common, or rather there were more of this carriages are like carts, you can say, horse carts, bullock carts. So those type of carriages were there, but with wheels, so which were of course driven by the horse used to pull this carriages. So what she thought, that probably if she is crossing the road and some carriage is coming, she might be trampled, she might be the horses or the horses feet might fall on her, or even the wheel of the carriages, she might come under those wheels. So because since she was very old, she was very weak, so it was not possible for her that if she is halfway the road and if she happens to see any carriage or any horse, running really fast, she cannot run or she cannot hurriedly move ahead. So she was very scared and she was waiting for the opportunity that the road should be very clear so that she can cross the road very slowly, very comfortably. And that was not happening, so she was very worried and she was unable to cross the road uh, because of these situations or because of these problems. Next four lines. At last came out of the merry troop the gayest boy of all the group. He passed he paused beside her and whispered low, I'll help you cross if you wish to go. So here children, in these four lines, merry troop means happy group. The group which was very happy, group of children which was very happy. And gayest means the happiest boy, the one who was really very happy. Paused means stopped, and whispered means spoke very slowly into her ears. Uh, you must have played Chinese whisper in your when you were really very small. What is that? We say something in someone's ears, and then that person is supposed to say the same thing into somebody else's ears, and that is how the game goes on. So finally what happens, that the first person, whatever he said, that gets modified and changed, and ultimately the last person who tells what he heard is absolutely different. It is so very like not connected also sometimes. So Chinese whisper, or rather whisper, means to say very slowly into the ears, that only that person could hear. So finally at the end what happened, that when we saw that so many groups of children were coming out and nobody noticed her, but finally what happened, at the end one group of boys came out of the school. This was the last group of boys to come out of the school. These boys were very happy, and the happiest boy of that group stopped beside the old woman, and gently he asked, he slowly said into her ears that he would help her to cross the road if she wanted to cross the road, if she wished, if she was fine, if she was okay. That boy was ready to help her to cross the road. Her aged hands on his strong young arm she placed, and so, without hurt or harm, he guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were young and strong. Then back again to his friends he went, his young heart happy and well content. So here children, hurt or harm means injuries, trembling means shivering, and content means satisfied. So now We have seen that in the last stanza that the boy who was the happiest boy amongst the group, amongst the happy group, so he came, he paused, or he stopped near this old lady, and he uh, quietly or gently said into her ears that if he would help her cross the road if she wanted to. So the old woman placed her old weak hand over the strong young arms of the boy. So she just caught hold of that boy's uh, arms, and the poet has very nicely described that the old woman's arms, or rather hands, were very old and weak, and the boy's arms were very strong and young. Because the boy was young, the lady was old. So her, with age, hers were weak, and because of the youth or the youthfulness, the age of the boy of a youth, his arms were very strong. So so now she placed her weak hand in onto the arms of the young arms of the boy, who was very considerate and very helpful. Because considerate, because he was the only one who noticed that old lady, and he was considerate enough to wait and ask her if she wants the help. And he was also helpful because he helped her cross the road. Then the young boy helped the old lady, whose legs were shivering because of the old age and the chilling cold. He caught hold of her hand and helped her cross the road very carefully, so that she should not be hurt or she should not be injured. Now he took all the care to help the lady cross the road, because she was weak and he was very strong. So he just hold her and he helped her cross the road gently and very carefully. Now when he had already helped her cross the road, then he was feeling very happy for himself. So he was very feeling proud of he was feeling very proud of himself, as he was able to help someone or help the old lady to cross the road. She was waiting there since long to cross the road, but she was unable to. And this boy came from the school and he saw this, and he was so happy that he helped her to cross the road. So he had a different type of satisfaction, a very different satisfaction, because he was able to help someone. So that gives, so if sometimes if you have a chance, or you get an opportunity to help someone, and when you help someone without any expectations in return, and you know didn't knew that you might get an opportunity to help somewhere, but if you happen to help, you feel so happy and so contented, and you feel really so proud of yourself that you have been of some help to someone who was really in need of that help. So that gives us a very different type of satisfaction. So similarly, even this boy was very contented, he was very happy. So when he went back to his friends, back to the group of his friends, he said to the he told his friends when he went back that his own mother was now he went back to the friends, and he said that he was very happy that he was able to help someone, and he was very happy. And now why he was happy? Because he has helped the old woman. Now his own mother was strong and young, so he thought that when he will go home and tell his mother about this incident, his mother will be very happy as well, and will be proud of her son. So if you get sometimes good marks, or if you did something good and your mother's really very happy for you and she is very proud of you, you feel so nice, so happy that your mom is proud about you, or your father is proud of you, of your some act which was really great. So similarly, he felt very proud that his mother will be very happy and proud of him for his this act. So after helping the old lady, he went back to his friends, and now his heart was filled with happiness and satisfaction, and he felt very proud of himself because he had helped someone that day. And when we help some, well, when we do some noble work or some some good deed, we have such type of feeling, and it is a very different experience and a very different satisfaction altogether. So children, now another two paragraphs are left for this poem, but I think we should stop here, and these two next paragraphs, explanation, then um, workshop questions, English workshop, activities and marginal questions we'll do in the next class. But till then, I want you all to write these word meanings in your notebook, and you should read this poem and try to understand the meaning yourself. So in the next class, we'll see these next two stanzas, a very small part of the poems remaining. So we'll see that, we'll understand that, and then we'll do the activities and marginal questions as well. So thank you so much. Please do revise, please do read, because reading helps the most. Thank you.